to be talking to you about my 98% win rate Forex trading strategy. This has been in development for the last 6 months, and it actually has this 98% win rate going back all the way to 2010 up until now. So that's a 10 plus years of profitable trading history that this algorithm has. And it's all done on autopilot. And you may think that a 98% win rate is a scam or not possible. It is, if you know what you're doing and you have the skill set to build a strategy like this and make it completely autopilot. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how the strategy works so you can get an idea of how a 98% win rate is possible. All right, so what you're looking at right now is the pinpoint algorithm. So this is my personally built algorithm that I've spent about the last 6 months building. This is an algorithm that trades the Forex market on complete autopilot. And you can see on this account that's been going since October 22nd, it's coming out with a profit of just 2%. So that's not a lot, but a decent amount over the last 7 days. And you can see that that's about 2% for just this week alone. It has a 100% win rate, 17 out of 17 trades won. And you can see what those look like. So these are the pip amounts. So this is taking about 6 to 8 pips profit every single trade. And it hasn't had any losses yet since this account was open. Okay, so a larger sample size that you might be wondering, what about the strategy on a larger sample size? So a longer period of time. And so I ran a strategy on a back test of from 2010 all the way to 2020. So that's 10 plus years using every tick data that's at a 99.9% modeling quality. So this is basically the best data that you can get that is a pretty accurate representation of how your strategy would have traded in the past and will potentially trade in the future as well. So this is on the pound US dollar. You can see that it's showing a 98% win rate, so it's lost only 58 trades out of 2,750. So that represents a 2% loss rate. All right, so you might be wondering, well, how does the strategy work when it comes to taking a loss? And that's a 300 pip loss on the pound US dollar. So you might be thinking that's so high. How does this even work? I'm going to turn this video off right now because this is horrible risk management. Just wait a second. And it's because this losing trade, even though it's 300 pips and it's a $60 loss on an account size like this, represents a 5.85% loss on the account, is made up directly on the next trade with a 7 pip take profit, which results in a $75 gain. Only lasted 6 minutes long, but it was a 7.79% gain on the account. So that's about a 2% profit plus the recovery on the next trade. Now that next trade was taken just a couple days later. First trade the loss was taken on 129, and the second trade was taken on 2-1. So you sometimes have to wait 24 to 48 hours for that recovery trade to happen. But the strategy has never lost more than one trade in a row over a 10-year period of time on the pound US dollar. Now you might be wondering about the drawdown on the pound being 42.5%. That was only hit once in the entire 10-year history, and the average profit is 2.5%, as you can see here. All right, so the Euro US dollar, also a very similar story. We're talking about a 97% win rate. And you can see that this one has a 200 pip stop loss. So we have lowered the stop loss a little bit on the Euro US dollar because it's a little bit less volatile pair. So we're taking a 3.8% loss on this losing trade of 200 pips. And it was recovered on the next trade with only a 9-minute trade with a 4.75% profit. And that was very accurate at a $48 profit versus the $48 loss. So we came out with an overall profit gain of about $8 on this particular trade sequence. Okay, so the trades are typically in and out very quickly. They're usually very accurate, but every once in a while we'll have a stop loss that is triggered. But we never have more, and we never have had more than one losing trade in a row on both of these pairs, the Euro US dollar and the pound US dollar, over a 10-year period of time. So I wanted to show you this account as well. So this is running my old Ranger algorithm and the new pinpoint algorithm on the same account. So how I'm doing this is I'm running both algorithms at 50% less risk. So I am not over leveraging my account. So I'm really being careful with how the risk is being managed on these accounts. And this is a live personal account, so you can't see I'm locking out the balance size, so I'm keeping that personal and private. but you can see how much the account has gained since it started back on October 23rd of this year. Okay, so this has had, you can see all the winning trades. Since this is running two strategies, you can see that this is running on also the pound Canadian dollar, the euro US dollar, and the pound US dollar. It's also taking trades on the pound Canadian dollar. So we're trading on 4 pairs using it on 2 separate algorithms. So you may be wondering what the Ranger algorithm is. This is a very seasoned strategy of mine that I built back 8 years ago and have constantly modified to improve its profitability over the long term. It averages on this default settings about a profit of 5% every single month. You can see we're looking at about 62% profit since January of 2020, and we've made a profit every single month since January of 2020. The strategy has been running on a live account as well at 25% profit at Trader's Way with 500 to 1 leverage. And this account is pretty fun because I started with a $1,000 balance and have been adding an additional $200 deposit to increase the compounding and also to grow wealth at a faster pace. So I am doing a dual savings and investment strategy on this account to show you how to grow an account faster with only an average profit of 5 to 8% every single month. So this account's been going since July of 2020, and we're currently in October, and you can see every single month is profitable there as well. So the Ranger on a 50 to 1 leverage account, so that is lower leverage, lower risk, but it's also been profiting since October of 2019. So we're talking about a year now. So this is what the strategy looks like in the backtester on an MT4. So you can see that the profit going up really smoothly over a 10-year backtest. As you can see right here, 10 years. We're running on every tick. We're also using tick data, as I showed you previously. This is with 99.9% backtest quality to give an accurate representation of how the strategy worked in the past and how it may work in the future. We're also using a variable spread to give it a better accurate representation as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the strategy looks like on the chart. So we're talking about the trades that it takes on chart. So this is the RMI indicator. So this is a relative moving index. This is one of the indicators the strategy uses for its entry. It's not the only indicator that it uses. It uses a combination to find the best scalping points in the market so it can be in and out of trades in the quickest amount of time. Okay, so this is one of these trades here. This is a sell trade looking to go down, and unfortunately it went up right after it was taken. So we waited, the market corrected, came back down, ended up coming out with a profit here. Now it did take some days for that to happen, roughly about 1 to 2 days for that to take place. But we might have come out with a swap fee. If you know anything about trading, you know about swap fees, and they take place. Sometimes you can get a positive swap, sometimes you can get a negative swap. In this case, we're probably dealing with a negative swap, and if that took place, the cool thing about this algorithm is that if negative swaps are added up and to our initial order, the algorithm is able to take that swap fee and add it to its profit. So if the target is 6 pips and we had a few days of swap fees added to negative swap fees added to the actual fees for the trade is able to make that up in additional pips. So in this trade, we were able to take roughly 7 to 8 pips to take profit, making up for those negative swap fees. Really cool feature in the algorithm. Okay, so we have the sell trade. This one was in and out quickly. And you'll see that most trades are like that. Sometimes we do have to wait for trades to correct. This one went down, didn't hit stop loss, moved back up, took profit here, and then we had a couple of winning trades right after that. So the same thing on this one. And when we're waiting for losing trades or for drawdown to come out, we can take trades on the other pair. So since we're trading 2 pairs, so we're trading the euro US dollar and the pound US dollar, and while this pair is in drawdown, we're most likely hitting profit on the other pair. And that's why we that's why we're trading 2 pairs, and so we can have trades just about every single day. And when one is in drawdown, the other one is likely profiting. Okay, so sometimes we'll have drawdown on both pairs, but in most likely because of how accurate the strategy is, that won't be taking place very often. Okay, so I'm going to show you a period of time where we actually take a loss. So here's one right here. Okay, so the initial trade entry was right here. We were looking for the market to go down. It basically bounced right from our initial order and shot up ending up hitting our stop loss. So we had to take a 200 pip stop loss. But what's cool about this is that the trade directly after, just a few hours later, was a profit. And that one only took like 3 hours to hit our 6 or 7 pip take profit. And that trade right here was the one that made up for our stop loss from this one. So that was a bad trade, but because of this trade being hitting a stop loss of 200 pips, we're able to use a slight martingale or a fairly large martingale because of how accurate the strategy is in its makeup trades. We're able to get that target on the next makeup trade, recovering the loss of the previous one, and coming out with a good target in profit overall. Okay, so that's what the strategy looks like on chart. And you can see that there are plenty areas where we are hitting lots of little take profits. Look at all these trades. That's like 15 or so trades in there, and all of them hitting fast targets. That's typically what the strategy does, and it does it over and over and over again over a 10-year period of time. You can see that there are sometimes months and even years that the strategy doesn't go into drawdown. It's just going straight profit, like you can see here. This is over a month of time where it's just hitting straight profit over and over and over again. So if you're scared of the whole martingale idea, you shouldn't be, because strategies can work with martingale, and actually some kind of martingale involved in your money management can really help you in finding a profitable strategy over a long period of time. The majority of traders are not backtesting their strategies long enough. Most of them are doing 1 to 2 years. It's not a large enough sample size to see if your strategy is going to actually be able to profit through the market phases that happen, whether it's an election that happens, a pandemic, a financial crisis. All of these kind of things stack up to make market phases that potentially result in you having streams of losses or having drawdown. And if you don't do enough back testing with your strategy, you're going to find yourself getting knocked out because you didn't do enough research on your trading strategy to see if it's going to hold up through a good amount of market phases. And if it can hold up, that means that it has a better chance at adapting in the future. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this strategy and in this 98% win rate algorithm. But if you're wanting to find out more information about the pinpoint algorithm and the Ranger algorithm, I suggest you go to the Responsible Forex Trading Discord group that is directly below the link in this video, where you can find a bunch of users that are using these algorithms and showing profitable results. You can also get your questions answered. I'm there as well, so if you need to contact me. And we're just talking about trading, and we're all trying to make a profit together. This is how we do this. And I've been a trader for 15 years, and I develop strategies that are built for long-term trading, not this short-term, flashy cars, fancy houses, all that kind of stuff. I'm a real trader and been that way for a long time now. I'm in the top 1% and hope to stay there, and hope that I can take you there as well by taking your ideas and your strategies and making them into something that works just like you see here. Okay, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.